This is a simple form upload validation video tutorial where I highlight the essential tips on how you can validate a user's uploaded file before moving the file to your file server. Now, I saw a lot of videos that uses AJAX with a progress bar, and for me, that is the best approach when you're trying to build a system that has a great user experience. Now, for this tutorial, I've made it as basic as possible, but I do have another file upload tutorial that has simple progress bar where you can display how much file data is being uploaded. Before I show you my JavaScript code and explain my HTML code, let me show you how the form works. So this is our simple upload form where a user enters their email, selects a file, chooses an option, and submits the file to be uploaded. I am using JavaScript to do a client-side validation before we actually upload the form to our server-side script. Let's test this form out. So a user submits their email, select a file, which I've uploaded the file to my local file server. I'm currently using localhost, but this is the fastest and simplest way to actually test out your programs before deployment into a real live server. So inside of my htdocs, I've created a directory called stored files. All of my uploaded files will be stored. Let's try another one. This is the email I used to upload the file, and this is the file I just uploaded. In my file server, you can see the file is in fact here. Let's begin to break down each line of HTML code and JavaScript, because I did validation to make sure that the user can only upload certain types of files to my system. And these will all happen on the client side before the form is actually submitted. This is the basic structure of my HTML form. I have a form element to ensure that my form can actually accept files from users. Now the form will be submitted to a PHP parsing script called process upload. This is from W3 Schools that highlights the need for adding the ink type multi-part form data. Now this value is necessary for file upload. I've added an onClick function and I've passed in the event as an argument. I can prevent this form from submitting when the user clicks on the submit button until the validation process is complete. So my function process is fired off when the user clicks on the submit button. The first step I did was to prevent the default. So event stops the form from actually submitting, and I have targeted the form ID, and once all of my validation is complete, then I want to submit the form. In the previous video, I highlighted how you can run a simple email validation, and I've simply copied and pasted the same code. For the select drop element, I did a simple pattern test to make sure that the user is actually submitting the characters that I want, which is alphabet in lowercase and digit. Any characters other than this will force an error and the JavaScript code will stop. For the file, I have targeted the file input, which is the ID of the file input within our form. Now I have an object reference and I can verify the size of the file, verify the extension, type of file. These are only the files my form will allow. I have targeted the file input.name and I've used the JavaScript method split to split the file name. This will split the file name at the end where you have the extension of the file. And I've formatted the resulting value by converting it to lowercase to match my predefined extension. So converting your extension to lowercase will ensure you're actually matching the correct extension value. So I've used the includes to check if the user has uploaded a file that my system will accept. We validate the file size and I've limited file uploads to 10 megabytes. Once all of this validation is completed and no errors, then we want to submit the form to our PHP parsing script. So it's in our PHP script that we would be moving the files directory within our local host. Now, if this was in your remote server, you will be pointing to the directory on your remote server where you want the files to be moved. To recap, we have a simple basic HTML that allows the user to choose and upload a file. We then use JavaScript to validate the user's input and validate the file size, file type before we submit the form. In the next video, I'm going to show you the PHP server-side code that validates the file before moving the file